And the Oscars are set for March 12th, and the nominations for the 95th Academy Awards, they were announced this week.
So to talk about snubs and surprises, we're joined by film critic Richard Crouse, also host of the Last Call podcast. Richard, happy Friday. So let's get started with the Canadians nominated for an Oscar this year.
Yeah, I was very excited as they were reading through the list of who was going to be nominated to see Sarah Polley's name pop up. Not only as a producer on Women Talking, but also as the writer of the Best Adapted Screenplay. That's great for her. 2 nominations. I would like to have seen her as Best Director as well, but that wasn't in the cards for this year. Brendan Fraser, here's a comeback story. There's been a couple of great comeback stories this year at the Oscars. Brendan Fraser is one of them. This is the first time in about a decade or more that he's had his name above the title of a film. And for The Whale, he's nominated for Best Actor. He's got a good shot at taking that home. People love that performance. James Cameron. We maybe sometimes forget that James Cameron, the director of 3 of the biggest movies of all time, is from Ontario. He's lived in Los Angeles for a long time, but he's nominated for Best Picture and Best Production Design. You've got 2 Sheridan graduates, Chris Williams and Domi Shi. Domi Shi nominated as director of Turning Red, and Chris Williams for The Sea Beast, 2 big animated films, both beautifully done, beautifully animated, and both deserving of their nominations. You've got Wendy Tilby and Amanda Forbes for The Flying Sailor. These are Calgary-based filmmakers that made a short film about the Halifax explosion. And it's a really cool little film they made for the NFB. That's nominated for Best Short Animated Film. Ina Finchman directed one of the directors of Fire of Love. One of my favorite documentaries of last year is nominated. And Daniel Roher for Navalny, a documentary about the Russian opposition leader. All nominated and all Canadian.
Awesome. And then the snubs.
Yeah.
Well, for snubs, I mean, I really thought that James Cameron would very likely pick up a directing Oscar nomination for Avatar, simply because it's the biggest movie in the world, and the Oscars are really trying to appeal to a large audience, and there is no larger audience right now than for Avatar. Tom Cruise for Top Gun Maverick. It was a bit of a long shot, I guess, that he might get a nomination for Best Actor, but again, this is the movie that got people going back to the movie theaters, and I think that the Academy really wanted to kind of make a big deal of that. Then there's Danielle Deadwyler. If you saw the movie Till, you will have seen just what an absolutely beautiful performance she handed in as Emmett Till's mother. The story has his name in the title, but it's all about her performance. It's such a gorgeous performance. I was really hoping that she would get nominated for an Academy Award. I thought Viola Davis might get nominated for The Women King. This is another film that I thought was getting a lot of traction during award season as we were leading up to the big announcements of the Academy Awards, and that one didn't happen. And then where are all the female directors? Where was Sarah Polley? Where was Gina Price-Blythewood? Where was Charlotte Wells? You know, a lot of those names could easily have sat alongside any of the names that are currently on the list for Best Director. So lots of snubs there.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very surprised by The Woman King. I watched that during TIFF, and it brought me to tears. So, yeah, kind of scratching my head with that one. And, Richard, were there any surprises from the nomination announcement for you?
Well, a couple. So Andrea Riseborough getting nominated for a film that so far not a lot of people have seen. The film is called To Leslie, and you know, this is a small, very small independent film that really got a lot of traction on social media when some very big stars started tweeting about it and suggesting, like, this is an amazing performance. We should really be celebrating this performance. No traction at all during award season to speak of, and then all of a sudden there's the surprise nomination on Academy Award nomination day. Also, Ana de Armas for Blonde. This is a movie that has really polarized people. A lot of people talk about how great she is as Marilyn Monroe, but how exploitive and frankly grubby the movie is. So I was a little surprised to see that. And then Paul Mescal for Actor Son is someone who has been getting nomination after nomination. He's getting talked up all the way through award season. So that's really good to see him there. And then, Taylor Swift, people were saying it's too bad that she didn't get nominated for Best Original Song for Where the Crawdads Sing. But I think Taylor Swift's doing just okay by herself.
Exactly.
She's doing all right.
Right. She really is. Just released Lavender Haze last night, and fans are already flocking to the Twitter or Twifter. Taylor Swifter sphere. I don't know, whatever you call
That's
it.
right.
Yeah. Okay. Richard Crouse, film critic and host of Pop Life. Always enjoy your input. Have a great weekend. We'll chat with you soon.